Coming up on News 25 at 5:30, the Harrison County Sheriff's son is involved in an explosion that rocked part of the county.
Plus, former DMR manager Tina Shoemate pleads guilty and is sentenced to prison.
I'm Katerina Lukstich. Coming up on News 25, we'll bring you to the Superdome for the Saints home opener.
You're watching WXXV News 25, your local choice at 5:30. With Jennifer Tubwell, Joe Sullivan, and Nick Patrick.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. According to our media partner, the Sun Herald, former DMR manager Tina Shoemate has just pleaded guilty to charges of embezzling money from the state agency.
Circuit Court Judge Roger T. Clark sentenced Shoemate to 2 years in prison and 4 years probation. 4 charges were dropped against Shoemate in the plea arrangement. Now, she admitted taking a total of $300 through false travel vouchers she submitted. Each of the 2 charges carries a maximum sentence of up to 10 years in prison because she embezzled the money while serving as a public employee. Now, Shoemate managed the Coastal Resources Office at the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. Weeks after announcing his retirement from the sheriff's office, Sheriff Melvin Brisolera announced today that he will be running for re-election. In the conference room of the Harrison County Sheriff's Office today, Sheriff Brisolera declared that he would not be retiring from the department after all. He says when word got out that he was going to leave, he began receiving phone calls and support from residents who were very satisfied with the sheriff's department and did not want him to leave. Brisolera says he instantly felt regret upon initially announcing his retirement, and his love of the job, coupled with the community support, changed his mind.
A lot of thought went into this. A lot of citizens have approached me trying to get me to run for a 3rd term. After listening to all the citizens that came to me, sitting down with my chief deputy and everything, we felt this might be the best thing to do.
Brisolera had endorsed his chief deputy, Landy Phillips, for that position, but Phillips has withdrawn from the race and is backing the sheriff. Last night, a mysterious explosion was reported in North Gulfport in the area of Lizana. Now, when News 25 called police around 9:30 last night, they said it was only gunshots.
News 25's Sarah Duffy explored the situation today and found out it was much more than innocent gunfire. She joins us live with more. Sarah.
Thanks, guys. We're here on Mennonite Road in Lizana, where a car exploded right behind me last night. Residents say that the explosion was so great that it caused their houses to shake and even fixtures to fall off the walls. But when they tried to get in touch with law enforcement to find out what happened, they couldn't get a straight answer. Wanda Walker and her husband JT were relaxing at their home off Mennonite Road in Lizana when they heard an explosion around 8 p.m.
It shook our houses. It threw pictures off the wall. It threw particles on our homes and sheds, and there's nothing they can do.
When they called the police, they said not to worry, it was just gunfire.
We called the law, and they wouldn't even come out.
It was horrible. We were shaking, and it was miles and miles, and everybody calling us to see if we're okay because they said it was Lizana on Mennonite Road, and it was just horrible, and nothing happened.
Today, when News 25 followed up with law enforcement, Harrison County Sheriff Melvin Brisolera says the situation is under control. With a bit of hesitation, the sheriff revealed his son and friends were the ones who filled this vehicle with explosives and fired at it with shotguns, causing the loud explosion. It is believed they used tannernite, which is an explosive marketed usually for exploding targets used in firearm practice.
Apparently they used too much of it, and it detonated, and the bang was a lot more than they thought it would be.
Tannernite is a legal explosive sold in outdoor sporting stores, but Lizana resident Janice Johnson doesn't think it's something to play with. Her son was hit with a bomb while serving in Iraq. The explosion last night shook him up.
I don't think it was anything they were joking around with, and if it was, it wasn't very funny, because I know there's a lot of vets out here, and I do know how upset he was, how scared he looked by the time I got home. So if it was a joke, I don't appreciate it.
The owner of the land where the explosion happened, along with Sheriff Brisolera, say the young men will not be shooting guns in the area ever again. News 25 spoke with the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Agency to find out more about tannerite. They said since there's no legal limit to how much you can have and does not require a permit or license to carry, they will not be investigating this case. Reporting live in Lysana, Sarah Duffy, News 25.
Thanks, Sarah. The Federal Aviation Administration was on the scene today investigating yesterday's plane crash in Stone County. A small single-propeller airplane crashed just after 6 p.m. on Oil Well Road, just north of Flint Creek Water Park. According to the Stone County Sheriff's Department, the plane lost power, flew into some trees, and finally crashed in a nearby field. The pilot and 3 passengers were transported to Forest General Hospital in Hattiesburg, where they were being treated for non-life-threatening injuries.
Absolute miracle. From the looks of the wreckage, it's just a miracle that they were all able to literally walk away. Right now, our position is just to stand by and offer them any assistance and to maintain the security of the scene. Sheriff's deputies will remain on scene until the wreckage is completely cleared, which will be sometime tomorrow.
The FAA arrived on scene at 10 this morning and will continue to investigate exactly what caused this crash. The 3 men were all from Texas.
It was a beautiful day today. How much did you get to get out?
Not much at all, unfortunately. Here is forecaster Nick Patrick. It gets in the way sometimes with the look at your weather. Nick.
Well, plenty of sunshine today, certainly, but today's high is fairly mild. Only made it to 90 degrees here in Gulfport, 89 for Biloxi. Had a little bit of a breeze out there from the north. Felt pretty good outside, certainly, and we're going to continue to see those clear skies all the way through tonight. Take a look at this Doppler edge. Really nothing at all today, showing a little bit of a regional view. A few showers and thunderstorms there in Louisiana, but for us, we have been very sunny today. That will continue. Taking a look at those overnight conditions, 73 degrees for our overnight low. Clear, mild, just a light breeze from the southwest. But these breezes will pick up tomorrow. A little bit more moisture in the area, and we could see some storms this weekend. When will they get here? I'll let you know in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Nick. Once again, Ingalls gets ready to christen one of its Coast Guard cutters.
After more than 2 years, the ship will finally be named and given a sponsor. News 25's Alyssa Meisner has more.
James will officially be christened tomorrow as a U.S. Coast Guard cutter ship, charged with patrolling U.S. waters and protecting our borders once it is completed. And those working on the ship are proud to be a part of such a mission.
I mean, the pride is up big time. The ship is looking good. The other Coast Guard just went out on sea trial, I think, Tuesday, and it's been successful. So hopefully this ship will be too.
While Ingalls still has work to do, eventually James will house 115 members. This is a smaller crew due to technological advancements, and that means long-term savings for the American people.
The good news for the American public and the American taxpayers is that when the Coast Guard gets a ship, we run these things for a long time. So this class of ships is replacing a class of ships that's over 40 years of age.
At a time when Department of Defense cuts are on everyone's mind, Ingalls says this cutter for the National Coast Guard is the most efficient of its kind.
These national security cutters are replacing about 12 other ships that we've had out there, and those are the high endurance cutters. So with some improvements in terms of how we crew them, how we man them, how long we run them, we gain a little bit more efficiency.
James will patrol waters from its home in Charleston, South Carolina, down to the Eastern Caribbean. Meanwhile, Ingalls workers put on the final touches to send out its latest ship that will serve the men and women who protect America. In Pascagoula, Alyssa Meisner, News 25.
Tonight, the New Orleans Saints return home to the Superdome for Week 2 of the preseason, taking on the Tennessee Titans. Joining us live in New Orleans outside of the Superdome is News 25's Katarina Lukatic with a preview of tonight's game.
We are live in Champion Square, where it is literally a party behind me as fans are eagerly awaiting this home opener tonight. Now, the Saints defeated the St. Louis Rams 26-24 in last week's contest, and they will be making the look improvements in all phases of the game as they continue to prepare for their season opener at Atlanta on September 28th. The starters will look to see a bigger role in tonight's contest. However, signal caller Drew Brees looks like he will be on the sideline again with a minor oblique injury. Head coach Sean Payton says Drew Brees has been doing more in practice every day, but he doesn't want to rush the quarterback's recovery.
It's progressing well, so all those things are good signs, and each day he does a little bit more, you know, with the training room and then out here, and we just keep working on the rehab and making sure functionally, that we're not stressing it to where it sets them back.
Kickoff for tonight's game is set for 7 o'clock, and we will have more to report for you from the Superdome tonight at 9 and 10. Live in New Orleans, Katarina Lukatich, News 25.
It's a place to be right there tonight.
Absolutely, that's the place to be.
Party time. After the break, Nick Patrick will have a detailed forecast. But first, there's a look at your tides for tomorrow.
The Weather Edge, brought to you by Mississippi Power. For hurricane safety tips and more, visit our Storm Center at MississippiPower.com. We're storm ready. Are you? The Weather Edge, brought to you by Mississippi Power. For hurricane safety tips and more, visit our Storm Center at MississippiPower.com. We're storm ready. Are you?
Well, after some below average overnight conditions, we've started to warm up a bit here in South Mississippi. Looking at those feels like conditions across the United States, still cool in the Midwest, in Chicago, Buffalo coming in very much below average temperatures. But right now for us, we're sitting really right where we should be. 91 degrees, the feels like conditions in Gulfport. Still staying away from those feels like conditions that we've had a little bit earlier this week near the 100-degree mark. So still a fairly nice day out there. Plenty of sunshine sticking around. Other feels like conditions though, Gaucher, you're the hot spot right now. 102. Still a lot of that humidity coming into the coast and really, but for the most part, starting to stay very cool. 94 degrees in Biloxi, 93 in Wiggins. These should cool off quickly again tonight. And we're looking at another clear and cool evening. Looking at that MDOT traffic cam, steady traffic out of Biloxi right now downtown, looking along Highway 90. A beautiful shot there, the sun reflecting off the water nicely. Saw a few people in the pool there earlier. They've started to clear out a little bit, but it should be a great evening to be outside. 88 degrees. Notice the relative humidity in the around the 55% range right now. That's only bumping up those feels like conditions about 5 to 6 degrees, a little bit more than we had yesterday. Winds out of the south, southwest have really been amplifying that, so we're going to look at those winds to continue out of the south. But for tonight, we're going to be looking nice and clear. Doppler edge showing that right now. Really nothing along South Mississippi, and over the last 3 hours or so, notice really no activity at all as far as the Doppler edge is showing. So some clear skies out there. That high pressure starting to track off a little bit though. We notice that as we take a little bit wider look at the Doppler edge for us here in Mississippi and really for much of the southeast, a few clouds starting to drift our way. These really aren't going to be playing an impact, though. We should be looking mostly clear until we make it into the weekend, and not just the weekend, the late weekend as we head into tomorrow and tonight. Looking at the future edge, not showing a whole lot of anything until Saturday morning. It is bringing in a stray shower or two. I'm just expecting that it's picking up on that amount of moisture in the atmosphere. I'm expecting really just a few clouds, if anything, Saturday morning, and we should stay mostly dry all the way through Saturday. It does have a slight chance for some showers there, but I'm banking on mostly sunny skies, but the humidity. That's what's going to be picking up as we head into that Saturday afternoon. Now, Sunday morning, a very similar start. We should see mostly sunny skies, but the chance of showers certainly amplifies all day Sunday. Notice by the afternoon, future edge brings in a little bit more moisture there, and that's going to be our best chance for some showers. Really only about a 30% chance at the moment, but that could certainly bump up as we head a little bit later into that weekend. Looking at tonight's lows, another nice cool evening ahead. 68 degrees for Picayune, 72 degrees in Long Beach, so some nice cool overnight skies to help keep us clear tonight. 70 degrees for Sautia and Loosedale there, and it should be a fairly nice start to that weekend. Temperatures bump up though, sunny skies for Saturday before we see that chance of showers. As I mentioned, it is going to be sticking around. Low chances, but we're getting that humidity back up once again. These cool overnight temperatures won't be sticking around much longer.
This Sunday, the Gulf Coast will pay special remembrance to a storm many people call the worst to ever hit the area. 45 years ago, Hurricane Camille pummeled the Gulf Coast, causing extensive destruction to homes, businesses, lands, and lives, with winds estimated close to 200 miles per hour. At 2 o'clock Sunday at the Orr O'Keefe Museum of Art and the City of Biloxi, teaming up to present Camille, the 45th anniversary remembrance. The ceremony will be held at the Sanger Theater in Biloxi. A 1970s film about the storm will be presented, along with a never-seen-before interview with then Biloxi Mayor Daniel Geis Sr. The late mayor is credited with saving many lives of local residents, with an early warning to leave the area.
He just began his third term 1 month before Hurricane Camille struck. So Judge Geis is going to discuss what he saw and how the city persevered and how the city was able to rebuild.
Pasch Christian will also hold a Hurricane Camille ceremony Sunday at 10 a.m. at War Memorial Park.
Coming up on News 25, we'll let you know about a film being shot out of a new production studio in Gulfport. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Filming is in its second week now for Impact Earth, a film about a science professor who believes Earth is about to be hit by a giant meteor.
Wow. Now that film is being shot out of a new production studio in Gulfport. The facility was once better known as the Harrison County Skate Park on DeBeese Road. News 25's Alyssa Meesner reports those skateboards have been replaced with filmmaking clapboards.
Actors were just breaking for lunch when News 25 stopped by the set of Impact Earth. Executive producer Chris Brown says while it's the first time many of the actors and crew have worked in Mississippi, they're all enjoying the experience.
They're great people. You know, they mean what they say and they say what they mean. I found no issues with regards to the type of professionals they have down here.
But Brown and others on set believe Mississippi is an untapped market with a variety of landscapes, beaches, woods, the Gulf, and opportunities to train a young workforce.
We're looking to create jobs. We're looking to work with the colleges and the schools. We're working with the Biloxi School. We're working with the colleges here. We just want to open everything up that we possibly can to put Mississippi on the map, but use everybody that lives here.
Owner Paula Lindsay says she looks forward to more production studios opening up, but for now she has already seen the positive economic impacts of her studio on the Gulf Coast.
And being a local person here and a local businesswoman, I see where it's going to help our restaurants. It's going to help my other business, and you know, anything from clothing stores to restaurants, hairstylists, you know, you name it.
King says Impact Earth and another film he completed last year already put more than $1.5 million into the local economy. In Gulfport, Alyssa Meisner, News 25.
Mississippi Gulf Coast Studios says they hope Impact Earth will be completed next year. A mile of Highway 63 in Jackson County is now a new name, paying honor to Army Sergeant John E. Wells. Now, Sergeant Wells gave his life for our country back in 1969 during the Vietnam War. At today's dedication ceremony, family members told stories, they sang songs, and even danced in his honor. Many of the local officials at the ceremony served in Vietnam the same time as Sergeant Wells.
In 68, 69, it's certainly an honor to be here. The family is very, very tight family, very they generate the love for family. It's what's family all about. I think it's an excellent dedication ceremony. I'm glad to be part of it and honored to be here.
Highway 63 played an important role in Sergeant Wells' life, connecting him to friends, family, and loved ones.
Coming up on News 25, we'll show you a road that if you go to the beach in Alabama, you will love. If you're a fan of going to Gulf Shores, you won't want to miss our next story.
Second Edge weather.
I'll take a quick look at the Atlantic. Another low pressure forming just off the coast of Africa. We're taking a quick satellite imagery of it. Nothing to worry about just yet. Only about a 10% chance of this forming over the next 5 days. But as it continues on to track west, we will certainly keep our eye on that. But for us here in South Mississippi and the southern region, we're really just dealing with some warmer conditions. A little bit below average though. 90 degrees for Gulfport right now. Slightly cooler in Jackson, only 88 degrees there. So we're looking at some cool temperatures filling into the region. Plenty of sunshine. We've seen seen it all day. An area of high pressure just dipping into the southeast portion of the United States now, helping us stay clear, and we should see at least one more day of this sunlight here in South Mississippi. As take a look at the current Doppler edge. Absolutely nothing showing up there on that Doppler edge. Should be seeing plenty of sunshine, not only for today, but as I mentioned, one more day of it as we head into this weekend. Saturday, a little bit more humidity once again, starting off beautiful though in those low 70s, 73 degrees. We warm up quickly. Winds are going to be out of the south once again, drawing in some more humidity. That's why Sunday we see a better chance for some showers and thunderstorms developing there in the afternoon hours for Sunday. We see that slight chance continue for really the rest of next week. Temperatures slowly warming up into those low 90s, right around average for this time of year.
Great news for Mississippi residents that enjoy visiting Gulf Shores, Alabama. The last piece of the Baldwin Beach Express opened this afternoon in Baldwin County. The Beach Express is a 13-mile-long stretch of road that connects I-10 to the Foley Beach Express. The new road will help with beach-going traffic on Highway 59 and aid in hurricane evacuation. The governor and other dignitaries were there this afternoon for the ribbon cutting.
We'll have one final look at your weather after the break. Plus, a giant turtle has been spotted in Australia. We'll tell you all about it after the break.
Coming up tonight, as calm takes hold in Ferguson, Missouri, we'll tell you some new information about the police officer who fired the shot, also about Michael Brown himself. Also, this is putting a spotlight on the militarization of police departments around the country. We'll tell you where the equipment is coming from and why. Then the rise in the popularity of synthetic pot and a warning from some devastated parents.
It's one of the most picturesque harbors in the world, but today it was a little more unique. Tourists and residents of Sydney, Australia got a morning surprise today. A giant inflatable turtle floating in Sydney Harbor at more than 16 feet tall and almost 50 feet long. The giant turtle was floating and set sail to celebrate the opening of an undersea exhibit at the city's aquarium. Alfie, the turtle, is painted with an abstract black and white pattern of a coral reef, aimed to inspire people to think about the health of Australia's famed Great Barrier Reef.
Wow, how would you like to be caught off guard with that, just kind of rowing along in your boat?
That's right. I like turtles.
I try to jump on
everybody's saying it.
You try to jump on it.
Of course.
Nick, final check of the forecast. Going to be hot. Tomorrow's the better day of the weekend, right?
I would say so, yeah. We start off cool on Saturday, so if you need to get outside Saturday morning, it should feel pretty nice out there. Winds are going to be out, and the humidity stays low until the afternoon. That's when it really starts to bump up there. Plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. Wear the sunscreen. I'll be outside tomorrow. I'll definitely have some on. And then Sunday, the clouds come back. The afternoon showers certainly do as well. And we get back to that normal summer pattern of early afternoon showers.
All right, thank you, Nick.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you right back here tonight at 10 o'clock. Also join us on Fox at 9.